Deputy Director of WMO Regional Training Center Nanjing, which is one of the most active training center of WMO, in charge of the short-term meteorological training. On behalf of CRS, College of International Students, I would like to welcome you and express my gratitude for your active participation and support. As a pandemic COVID-19, we have to use the online meeting to organize this event. Every 23rd of March, World Meteorological Day is held to remember the establishment of World Meteorological Organization, as well as to arouse people's attention to meteorological work and promote the application of meteorology in aviation, navigation, agriculture, and other human activities. For years, CRS and its international students have organized various activities and events for this occasion. With the theme of early warning and early action, 2022 World Meteorological Day activity is held today in the purpose of enlightening the key role of meteorological forecast and early warning plays in preventing and mitigating meteorological disasters and protecting the safety of human life, so as to enrich young generations' knowledge of meteorological science, raise their attention of meteorological work, and enhance their awareness of environmental protection. Today, we also invite Professor He Guangxin from School of Atmospheric Science, Deputy Director of International Affairs Office of New East, who also served as Junior Professional Officer of World Meteorological Organization last 2 years. The main content of Professor He's lecture includes an introduction to WMO, natural hazards and disaster risk reduction, common types of natural disasters, and the purpose of meteorological observation. And we will also have academic reports respectively presented by 2 international PhD candidates in the field of meteorology. Jalal, with the topic of global impact of tropical cyclone, necessity of early warning and early action, and Vedasta, with the topic of increased high temperature extremes and associated population exposures in Africa by the mid-21st century. In the end, I wish today's event a success and I hope you enjoy and have a great time. Okay, that's all for my speech. Thank you for attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jaquan, for your presentation and your introduction to our program. So continually, as this year is celebrated with the theme of early warning and early action, let's start our presentation with Mr. Jalal.
Should go there?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
我们镜头是不是就直接对准他们就可以了？它镜头是可以调的。
I think we have to make it.
Yeah, we will adjust the camera.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think we can adjust it, right?
I know.
来调一下那个对准这位主讲人就可以了。
Okay, can we start the share?
对准他。
Yeah, yes. Should I open this or? Hello everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and for some people for good morning, and some people for good evening. And thank you all for my presentation. And thank you, Mr. Samuel, for giving me the chance to present for WMO Day. I'm Jalal. I'm a PhD candidate majoring in atmospheric physics and atmospheric environment, School of Atmospheric Physics, Nanjing University of Information Science and Technology. And my supervisor names Dr. Ewan Lee, Professor, School of Atmospheric Physics, Nanjing University of Information Science and Technology. I'll talk about the global impact of tropical cyclone, the necessity of early warning and early action. So from the map, you can see the tropical area are affected by tropical cyclone in terms of hazard frequency and mortality risk. So even a single tropical cyclone can cause the highest death toll and greatest damage. For example, Bola cyclone in Bangladesh, 1970, killed 300,000 people. Can you imagine? Even Katrina, Hurricane Katrina in USA in 2005, cost $125 billion loss. Can you imagine only one single tropical cyclone can cause large damage? So a question always comes in our mind: how does a tropical cyclone affect our lives and properties? The answer is by heavy rains. You can see from the figures, from the picture, that when the tropical cyclone began, it began with heavy rains, even the high waves and storm surge, and heavy rains, high waves, storm surge together leading to coastal flooding and affects our lives and properties in the coastal region of the globe. Even the tropical cyclone can affect us with extreme winds. For example, Hurricane Georges 1998 wrecked the houseboats and bent palm trees in Florida. So therefore, it's necessary to provide early warning and early action for disaster prevention and mitigation. Okay.
Okay.
Probably one can sit there to control. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So there are four components of early warning system. First one is warning products. Second is criteria to trigger actions. And third is communication systems. And finally, alert systems. So I'll just talk about the four systems of early warning and early action. For warning products, the requirements like the early warning should be timely and accurate. Timely means it should provide, it's not like the other disaster, like a drought is a long-term effect, but is a typhoon or cyclone has a very short time. So if you can give a warning with the right time, then we can reduce the loss of lives and property, and it should be accurate and comprehensible. That means it should be the clear message and clear warning, because most of the people in the coastal areas are illiterate. All people are not literate. Even all people are not familiar with the technical terms. Like if you say, okay, there will be 60 knots wind, what does it mean, the 60 wind? General people don't understand. But if you say the cyclone will blow away the root of the tree, or like root of the trees, then they will understand, oh, these are serious events is coming. Anyway, there are three types of warning products. One is the tropical storm and typhoon advisories, then typhoon local statements and position estimates. For example, Joint Typhoon Warning Center provide the warning of cyclone. Even we have the regional committee, like different, say for example, China Shanghai Typhoon Warning Center in the North Indian Ocean, Indian Meteorological Department. So for the 6th basin, we have the regional committee who are responsible to provide the warning. So in the public advisory, warning portals, like they start with the headline. Say, for example, tropical storm Chanhom moving slowly northward. So these are headline. Then they provide the watches and warning in effect. Then they also provide the general information. Say, for example, the wind speed. Then the position. Where is the typhoon position, and how and where the typhoon is going, like that. Then the current and expected movement. Then also provide the current intensity and future trends. Even they also provide the radius of tropical storm force winds or damaging winds, like from the coastal belt to the typhoon, the distance, like in radius, miles or kilometers, like from the 300 kilometers or 500 kilometers to provide the radius of the tropical storm, and the repeat of position, movement, and current intensity. Then next advisory, like the local statements, also start with the headline. They also provide the tropical storm like Chanhom moving slowly northward or eastward or westward, whatever. Then areas affected, how much area will be affected and which area will be affected. They also provide the local statement. Then watches, warning, and general information. They also provide the general information. Then tropical cyclone information, location, movement, trends, and intensity is provided by the local statements, local body, local disaster management officials. Then also the local statement should be like local storm info and the call to action, and also provide the wind information and forecast. Then also provide the surface information, like what I said before, typhoon causes heavy rains and high waves and storm surge. So how much like the surface area will subside, they provide also the information, and also the other storm effects like rainfall and the heavy waves, or like the storm surge cause the coastal flooding. So this is provided by the local statement. Okay. Then for the warning ports, we can also provide the position estimates. So the radar, Doppler radar information, we can provide the quick updates. What is the typhoon position? And we can also provide in the early warning. Then criteria to trigger actions. Tropical storm and typhoon watches and warnings trigger specific actions within the government, including instruction for the public. Like criteria for issuing watching, it should be within 48 hours, like when damaging winds are possible within 48 hours. Then criteria for issuing a warning, when damaging winds are expected within 24 hours. That means watch is within 48 hours and warning within 24 hours. Then the communications. And communications should be reliable and wide coverage and easily received. It should be reliable, like must be maintained and must be tested before you communicate. Okay. Then wide coverage means your aim should be to know the early warning, the whole people. Like goal is to the last kilometers, like everybody will know about the typhoon events or cyclone events. Then easily received, like you can use a radio or television or word to mouth, like even you can use the mic. But what I said before, it should be the clear message. It should be understandable. Like if you said like 60 knots, what does it mean? And you should avoid the technical terms. It's okay for the scientific society, but it's not applicable for all. So the message and warning should be reliable, even easily received and understandable. And the alert systems. Alert system also should be reliable, wide coverage, and effective. Like for example, if you use the sirens, the people must know what the tones mean. And the fewer tones will be more effective than many. For first responder, like police even can use the bullhorns, even knock on doors, because, for example, in my country, Bangladesh, the coastal people, there are a lot of difficulties. If you say people, okay, there will be a cyclone. Say, oh, previous they said there will be a cyclone, but now there is no cyclone, so we don't want to go move. Even there is, Bangladesh is a Muslim country. So some people has the religious anatomy, like there's a misconception. especially the female, they're very affected. They don't want to go outside without permission his husband. So there is a problem. So sometimes if you just say on the television, on radio, and you provide the sirens, but it's not effective. Sometimes you need to knock on doors and force them to go outside and evacuate your lives and properties, everything, and go and outside. Then we can reduce the loss and properties. And that's all. Thank you so much.